So it is our first day in Banff. Well, we actually got in yesterday, but just kind of had a nice relaxing day. Drove from the airport, just chilled, but this is our first day actually doing something. So I didn't plan this trip at all, so I kind of don't really know what we're doing every day, but I do know that our first thing is Lake Louise, so I'm pretty excited for that. Except apparently, if you come in May, the lake is still frozen over, so I don't know if we'll get those beautiful blues, but I know it'll still be really pretty. So we just went to Lake Louise, which is the most popular lake when it comes to Banff, and it did fill up pretty quickly. We got there really early. I think we got to the parking lot around 8:10. But then by the time we were leaving, it was pretty much full and there were a lot of people. So try to get there as early as you can. Now we're gonna go to Emerald Lake, which I don't think is on as many itineraries, but it looked beautiful, so we'll find out. So we just left Emerald Lake and it exceeded our expectations. The water was amazing even in May when everything else seems to be kind of frozen. It wasn't at all, and we got to take a canoe, which was something I did not think we'd get to do, so I was very, very excited, and the views were breathtaking. We actually had lunch right there on the water, so I would recommend doing that as well. But definitely make sure you get there by 10 a.m. like we did. We went to Lake Louise first, and then we went to Emerald Lake because the cars were down the street by the time we left. But it was perfect when we got there. There was no one. We were out in the water. No one was out there with us. It was amazing. We just drove to Herbert Lake, and there's literally no one else here. And it is beautiful. So if you're looking for a little hidden gem to take some photos, some videos, check this out. So we just got to Johnston Canyon, which is a hike. And like I said, I did not plan this trip, so I actually have no idea what we're gonna see on this hike, but I guess you'll discover it along with me. Just finished the hike at Johnston Canyon, and there is basically 3 different hikes you can do. It's all one trail, but there are 3 different distances. So there's the lower falls, the upper falls, and the ink wells, I think they're called. And basically the ink wells, or whatever it is, they are a lot farther than we really wanted to go. So we went to the upper falls, and it was about 3 miles round trip, and it was kind of difficult going to it. It was high altitude and went up really high and really steep, but on the way back it was totally fine and definitely doable, so I would highly recommend. It's day 2 in Banff, and it's supposed to rain the second half of the day, so we'll see how much we can get done today. But we are stopping first at Vermillion Lakes. Basically it's a scenic drive, or you can just pull off to the side and go check out the lake, and there's also a hike that you can do that's pretty short. Yeah, so that's gonna be our first stop of today, and then we'll see what we can get to after that. That lake was even more beautiful than I expected. It had that dock and a nice trail to walk on. It was so gorgeous. And now, if you know me, you know I love horses, and I'm super excited because we're gonna go horseback riding along Bow River, I believe. But anything to do with horses, I'm all about. So we just finished horseback riding, and it was so great. I absolutely loved being on a horse again, and the views were amazing. We went by the river, and there were beautiful snow-capped mountains. It was great. And now we're going to do a quick trip to Two Jack Lake, and then after that will be the Banff Gondola to this mimosa brunch thing that apparently is happening today. And then we're gonna try to see Lake Minnewanka before we just relax for the rest of the day. Day 3 in Banff now, and it's our last full day. We fly out tomorrow, but we're hoping to get something in. We'll see how that goes. But today we're going to go through things that are a little farther away, but they're all kind of close together. And we're going to start at Peyto Lake. Normally these are going to be gorgeous in the summer, have the blue water and all of that, but it's probably frozen right now. But I still think it's going to be beautiful views, so we'll check it out. So we just went to Peyto Lake, and now we're making our way to Peyto Lake. There are 2 different viewpoints, but we heard if you go past one of the viewpoints, there's this like bunch of rocks that you can stand on and are beautiful, so we're gonna try to do that. Peyto Lake, and the directions I gave at the beginning don't do in the winter because we could not find those rocks to save our lives, but we did go on this very, very sketchy trail that I think like maybe a few other people went on before us, where we were just sinking all the way to the thighs in the snow. So yeah, that was really sketchy. But then when we got to the end where the view was, it was also just a very steep hill, but we somehow still managed to get some videos and stuff for you guys. But I wouldn't really recommend it. So if you come in the summer, there are trails that will take you to those rocks. Otherwise, I would probably just stick to the main one. And now we are going to Waterfowl Lakes. And after that, I believe we're gonna be doing some hiking. So that's the rest of our day. Driving to Waterfowl Lakes, we saw this little pull-off. We went on that and there was like this tiny trail that you could take down to the actual water of the upper lake, and that was really cool because there was just no one there. And then we continued down Highway 1, I believe this is, and turned off into the campgrounds. And when you do that, it's a nicer trail through the woods, and you go to the river that connects the upper and lower lakes. Now we're headed to Mistaya Canyon to do a 1 mile hike to a waterfall.